Dr. Baird at Superior Healthcare, Baird Chiropractic. We're putting together a series of videos because I've been doing this for almost 25 years and people understand that we need car insurance. We need it to be legal to drive our vehicles, but most people don't understand what our car insurance does for us. As a chiropractor and treating patients for 25 years, most people come in that are confused. So I've become kind of a insurance expert. Even though I'm a chiropractor, I have to understand these things because I have to parlay that to the patient. So in the state of Florida, okay, car insurance, don't be confused with this, doesn't mean that it's just paying for your car. In the state of Florida, it not only pays for property damage, but more importantly, it pays for personal injury. Any injuries that you're sustained in a car accident, any injury you're sustained on a bicycle, as a pedestrian, if you're hit by a motor vehicle in any way, and it's not your fault, especially in the state of Florida, your own insurance company pays for your treatment. If you go to the emergency room, it'll pay for that. You go to that first, especially if you're in a lot of pain. If you don't go to the emergency room and you come here first, it'll pay for that. In the state of Florida, you have a $10,000 PIP allowed amount. Okay, that's mandatory in the state of Florida. $10,000 doesn't go very far, especially if you go to the ER. ERs like to give a couple of CAT scans, maybe your ambulance ride, everything else. That sometimes I've seen run into more than $10,000. So if your PIP is met and ate up by the ER or other treatment, who is to pay for your treatment from that point on? Well, that's why in the state of Florida, no fault kicks in, because regardless of fault, your own insurance pays. So if you caused an accident, your PIP will pay for your injuries up to $10,000. We make sure that we have a medical provider that gives us the recommendation for you to have treatment. That's called an EMC determination. That gives you that $10,000. So if the $10,000 has been used, which happens very quickly, some people have what's called MedPay. MedPay is an addition to that $10,000. Some people, that's an extra payment of your policy, so most people don't have it. $10,000 is mandatory. So you get that $10,000 in treatment. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not an ATM machine. That doesn't mean you get whatever that $10,000 you didn't use for care. That means you use that treatment, especially if you need it. You know, God forbid, hope you didn't have any injuries, mild injuries at best. Maybe you just need to be checked out. That's great. If you don't need anything else, you don't need anything else. But thank goodness we have that 10. If someone else is at fault, and we have a lot of that going on, especially here in Navarre, 98s, people are not paying attention, hitting people, texting on the phone, playing around with things. It's a very straight road. You would think there wouldn't be a lot of collisions. We see them every day. So if someone else is at fault, it is that person's, the at-fault party, their insurance company's responsibility to pay for anything that your policy didn't pay or any future care that you may have. Face it, the older we get, the less resilient we are. We can't recover as well. And many people have permanent injuries as a result of an auto accident. Sometimes they have more than one auto accident. Each one they have, they become more and more symptomatic, more permanency to their injuries, which is a big problem. That's why in the state of Florida, the no fault, the way what no fault works is that the other party's insurance will then pick up anything that yours didn't. The problem is this. In the state of Florida, the part of your policy that pays that, if you are at fault, is called bodily injury. It's liability. You are not required to have that in the state of Florida, which is horrible. Because if someone hits you and you're not covered, or your $10,000 is up and they have no BI, bodily injury, you get nothing. So it's very important for us to check all your policy limits, because I don't want to send you out for other treatment when there's no insurance to pay for that. I don't want you to be having bills as a result of someone else's negligence. So we make sure all those things are covered before that happens. I do recommend seeking legal counsel for those things, because many times insurance companies aren't just ready to write you a blank check. Matter of fact, they want to get rid of you so quickly, they're willing to give you very little amounts, and people think that's a big deal because they'll take that amount and not realize that they have nothing to look at in the future for any potential future care or anything else that's paid. So the state of Florida is a very, it's putting pieces together of the puzzle to figure out where you are and what you need. And unfortunately, we have to look at those insurance coverages to make sure we can get you where we need to get you in case there are more serious injuries. For example, someone comes in, they have a lot of radiating symptoms or a lot of pain in their neck. One of the first things we're going to do is send them out for an MRI. MRIs are anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. If they've already eaten up $10,000 in PIP from CT scans at the hospital, who's going to pay for that $2,000 or $3,000 MRI? It has to be the other person's insurance company. Now, there's one safety valve there. If you don't have uninsured motorists in your policy, you need to look at your policy right now and call your insurance agent and add UM, which is uninsured or underinsured motorist portion on your policy. That ensures if some negligent driver out there hits you, causes terrible collision, terrible injuries, 10,000 is ate up, they have no BI, your UM coverage will then protect you. Okay? A lot of people don't know what that is. Those are important things to know. And we teach patients that when they come in as they go through our process. So, in the next segment, I am sitting down with a new patient, going over what we need to do to get her started for care. So join us next time as we go through this process. Thanks.